rainwater harvesting in our own households. As you can see, there are pipe connections on the roof. What's the purpose of this pipe connection, you might think? So when rainwater falls, the water falls right into the tank underground right here. So this conserved water can be used for domestic purposes or any other small household chores.
The topic, which is very aptly placed as science and technology for sustainable development. We are having a virtual kind of interaction and participation. So this is also a new thing, new kind of innovative which we are going through, maybe because of the pandemic and because of the capacity of time. However, in near future, things may change, and we may have, direct contact with the students living in the district level. Here, I wanted to share a few things of my thoughts concerning the science exhibition and concerning science and technology. We are all aware that science is an everyday activities, everyday life. And in order to make this kind of program more effective and the learning at a lower level better, we need to think more practical in our approach of learning. Here, one pragmatic aspect which I personally feel is that we are having this kind of exhibitions every year. Every year, this is an annual kind of activities which covers many of the schools. But unfortunately, this kind of facilities have not been covered in most of the schools. That is one of the saddest things, because of the distance, because of the so many other reasons. So we could find that in the past so many years, participation of the students from the eastern part is also very less. Participation from the interior area, we need to explore more, so that more participation also takes place in near future. I think this should be the collective effort of all of us. Secondly, when we are organizing this kind of seminar or exhibition, like it's not one-time kind of activities. It should be a process, and it should be a continuous process of learning, and thereby filtration takes place. When we look at our learning aspects, the learning of science at the primary and upper primary is totally neglected. I should say that it is neglected maybe because of the policy. Maybe we are not so much enthusiastic to infuse the learning of science in the lower level. I therefore would like to appeal the stakeholders and also members present here that we have to think the all-round development of the child, and we have to motivate and inculcate the learning of science at a lower level. And in order to do that, yes, department, I've been saying at different platforms, we need to have laboratories, small laboratories at a lower level. We need to have science teachers at the primary or upper level, so that the students will be motivated and encouraged about the learning of science. This has not been taken place in our society today. Today, when we look at our children, they opt for the learning of, they opt for science stream only after getting the matric mark sheet. Depending on the marks that secure in HSLC, they want to opt for science. But this is not a good trend. We need to discourage this, and we need to motivate our children from the infant stage, from the lower level, so that the real learning of science will be in their mindset as they continue to grow their learning. And thereby, this kind of exhibitions will be very encouraging for the children also. So it is not only the science teachers, I should say that it is not only the science teachers that we have to, they have to shoulder the burden of taking up the science subjects, but even the parents, even the other teachers, we need our children to go for this kind of learning so that there will be someone as they come out from the university, so that there will be more scientists, so that there will be more technocrats, so that Nagas will be, exporting all these human resources even outside. And this is the scope where we have been lacking, and we are yet to come up with a, framework or, our goal to achieve this sustainable development. Therefore, when we say about the sustainable development, it matters a lot for all of us, and we need to encourage and infuse our thoughts to the young generations to learn the new method of learning the science. Science has become one of the mainstay in today's world, and there are many areas where children can explore the learning. But here, we need to encourage and motivate our children to do the best so that the government school, especially our children who are learning in a government school, can come up at the par with other private schools. We have some of the private schools in our state who are, having laboratories, whereas in our government schools, even in the high schools, we don't have a lab facilities. So recently, Samagra has come up even with a small lab facilities for the children, so that the children will be aware of learning of science. So friends, let us not only think of one-time kind of activity, which I feel that will not be sustainable for the development, but let us encourage our children. Let us put our heads together so that our children will be second to none in the learning of science and bring learners to the department as well as to the state. With these few words I can do. Thank you all for patient hearing.
The creativity is somewhat similar. Almost what we see is, and the effort of work they put is almost similar, but the way they present and the chart display here it varies. Or else the creativity and the effort they put in their work, they have done their best. So when we total all the three, this judge score, the first is from Bridges Academy from Mohokchung district, the first one, and the second is from Tuisam district, Akan Inlong School. Then the third one is from Mon district model school. So those are the final results of the state level science exhibition. Okay, so that's all.
Electric pump for irrigation, thermopoles, manure, and jumper wires for connection. The image that you can see on the screen is the C++.
A systematically organized body of knowledge. And technology is the application of science for some useful purposes. Science and technology can be used in sustainable development of many areas such as industries, medical science, space exploration, and agriculture, etc. In my project, I am focusing mainly on agriculture because our country's economy is mainly dependent on agriculture. If we take a look at the project, we can clearly see that everything here is made sustainably. Even this very project was made out of scraps. Firstly, we can see the practice of social forestry, where plantation drive as well as trees are seen growing in the vacant areas. The trees provide the residents with food, fuel, timber, fodder, fresh air, and also reduces carbon dioxide level in the atmosphere.
As we can see in the chart, big trees are grown along with crops and grasses. Secondly, we can see the practice of rainwater harvesting, where during the drought season, we can utilize the stored water for further use, and if the water is not used, it can also recharge groundwater. Next, we can see the practice of biogas plant. The waste produced from the houses is directly connected to the biogas plant through a pipe, where animal waste as well as agriculture or kitchen and garden waste can be used to generate fuel for cooking and lighting purposes. If we move on to the next, we can see the practice of kitchen garden and compost pit. These practices will provide the people with organic food products and manure for the land. On the contrary, we can see that these pipelines are connected to every growing plant. This system is called drip irrigation. Drip irrigation where we use less amount of water and produce more crop yield. Side by side, livestock practices such as poultry and piggery can be seen. These animals are reared so that they can provide the people with meat and eggs when needed. The waste of poultry can be mixed with the feed of the pig, as it has a lot of nutrients for the fast growth of the pigs. The waste of the pigs can be used in the compost pit. This very residential area is also connected with solar panels to lighthouse and street lights. We can also see the future, which are the solar cars, and they are sustainable because they do not pollute the environment. In conclusion, as mentioned earlier by me, simple innovations where all the people can practice is a key point of my project. The method used in this residential area is partly scientific and partly traditional, but I can guarantee you that it is the most effective in terms of sustainable development. So, with this exhibition, I believe that a small contribution has been made from my end towards science and technology for sustainable development. Thank you.